Riga day 1.
Competition number 3.
Correct.
DMEC Round 3, Riga.
Coming off Rheinbach, we started off nowhere, like not seen.
And made a huge, impressive, big step up. Still can't believe the achievements we got out of there.
Unfortunately, we realized that we have an issue with Joe's clutch before we started. So we made a plan for Friday morning. So I had to start first, he had some more time, or his car. So we said, okay, we get up early in the morning, try the plan. That didn't work, so we had to take the gearbox out.
It was plan A that didn't work.
Yeah, so plan B, take the gearbox out, change something on the clutch. We got it finally to work now. So we knew that the cars, we already are having more potential than in our old cars.
In theory.
In theory.
I didn't know that by then, and it struggled in my first practice.
Yeah, but you started dry, 1 lap dry if I'm not mistaken.
The second one would have been great to have. We were on a bit of different setups with the cars.
Yeah.
But I struggled, to be honest. And then rain kicked in, and that completely messed everything up. I don't know if it was a setup issue or if it's just the weight the cars carry. You have to know in Riga there are about 4 or 5 different types of asphalt, and those vary very much in terms of traction.
No.
This goes from
like almost dry grip. The first turn has insane grip for wet.
Yeah. Entry is a bit slippery, but then it really grips up.
Then it really grips up. And then you go transition your car, and there's the first spot where there's like almost no grip, but then there's again some moderate grip.
Yeah, and then there's an ice patch. I was like basically parking the car.
I checked the track out. This patch that we all talking about and all the other drivers gave basically the same feedback. Basically, I checked it out, and actually the rubber was sticking to the ground, and it was building like a full layer of rubber. That's what you know from driving centers, when they have like this ice simulation where they just have like rubber or plastic on the asphalt, put water on it.
Ice simulation, how you called it. Not like your regular ice simulation where everything is ice. It's just like high grip,
patch.
Ice, back to grip. That was a messy first lap in practice. But Ellie was making very, very nice progress with his car.
I also first had to get my head around, because my second practice was then wet, and I also struggled big time.
You struggled even more than I did.
Yeah, even more, yeah. I was just, not feeling as well as before. Like, if I would just have finished after the first practice, I probably would have
skipped the wet practice. But you never know.
Yeah, you never know in Riga. So I had to take the chance and go out in wet and get the experience, definitely. I went first, and I was in the really lucky position that I had a dry lap. However, I didn't manage to put in a really good lap. So I ended up with, I don't know, around 60 something points or something.
Yeah, I've seen him do better in the practices before.
Definitely. This guy,
not so lucky.
3 or 2 cars ahead, it started raining. I did my best to give him the best advice I could give from the spotting tower.
Which was pretty much, don't f it up.
And basically park your car.
Completely park it.
Just after the second transition, park it, stop there.
And that's what I did.
And
managed to not spin out.
No, you didn't spin out, so it was the first lap in wet, if I'm not mistaken.
It was the first full wet lap.
Yeah. Joe made it up with 2 wheels on the curb, 1 wheel in the dirt, and in my eyes, 1 wheel still on the curb, so basically a points deduction. However,
I got 0.
Yeah.
The judges decided, got a 0 on my first one. Your second one?
My second one was a wet one. I also ended up knowing how less grip there is with 2 wheels on the curb. And from that moment on, I just wanted to save the car. I came down, and on a spot that had like tons of grip, I realized that in this gear where I was, I couldn't get the car around without a really big clutch kick, and I didn't want to risk the car, and so I couldn't do that lap in the wet. Joe did a really well lap in my eyes.
But that was what it was. And I did not make the top 32. Got kicked out first time ever. Super disappointing.
It's what it is. It happened to me in Greinbach, it happened to Joe now. We're still both alive, huh? Good, well. He's still in one piece, that's good.
Sort of.
The second to last qualifier, Conor Shanahan, pushed him from 32nd to 33rd, so he was out of competition.
It was a bummer, but that was what it was. Ellie moved on.
In the battles.
Next day.
First battle went quite well that morning. So we changed to the wider tires. We put the cars on really suitable 285 tires, and the car felt way grippier. Finding that setup, I actually had to tell the guys, hey, please, can we go 1 or 2 steps back with putting more grip in the car? Because I need to learn the car, man. I'm just driving it.
This is something you very rarely will hear from a driver.
Yeah, I knew the cars are really fast. I did some battle practice. Unfortunately, I only got half a lap in chase because all the other crashed in front of me or spun out or whatever. In top 32, I met Max Cotton, 16-year-old UK
Phenomenon
guy.
from UK, yeah.
Yeah, he's driving really well. He has awesome line. I knew I can beat him, but if I do mistakes, he will beat me definitely.
At a time, Max Cotton, laser focused. First time in the European Championship this year, and he is in the lead position. Let's see what happens as they come through the gears. Max Cotton gives it that early initiation and slides it out excellent to the edge of the track. Here comes Eli Hutunji as he now starts to push towards the rear bumper, but Max Cotton looks like he's got a little bit of pace here as they fire through. Cotton though on very little angle coming towards that outer zone and very wide on the transition as now Eli Hutunji starts to turn the screw and get a little bit more proximity, a wobble from Max Cotton in the lead position. Another straighten up, a lot of grip in that car dialed in as they pushed out some errors from both drivers, but they're home safe. And you know what, just to see 2 cars come across the line at this stage is a novelty.
So going in, first chasing him down, I took some distance because I couldn't tell what speed he's going, but he was actually faster than I expected. However, I did a decent chasing lap. This was not the best job, but it was a chasing lap. Then switching it around, he had a big straighten in front of me. Never mind, the line was still good. We switched that around.
He can, as Eli Hutunji goes into the first corner. Max Cotton with a late transition there, and he's messed himself up a little bit. Max Cotton, he's getting lost in the smoke as he's got to start cutting the track here, and Eli Hutunji looking much more comfortable in the lead position here and getting really to the grips with this new chassis. Nice line from him as he heads out, missing that outer zone though, as Max Cotton transitions far too early, and so does Eli Hutunji. A little messy for both drivers as they come through that last section. Ian, nothing really brilliant to write home about there, and Max Cotton may have made all of his mistakes on initiation, trying to be too aggressive.
Yeah. Basically the pace in our car was just too much for him, so I moved on. Then top 16, I met some guy.
I did before.
No stranger. Piotr Winczek.
Met him twice in Greinbach, if you guys remember.
Then we said, okay, let's go to the maximum grip setup that I drove before and just do a tiny bit more. There would have been more in the car, but I just told the guys, hey, I know I want to beat this guy, but I still want to be able to drive the car and not just go understeer in the first turn into the wall. And actually on the run-up, I could more or less stay with him. Initiated about car lengths back. Second transition, there was a small gap. Third transition, I could cut the track a bit, make up the ground, and I was on his door for the last...
Sort of on pace.
He had some spool issues with his turbo, and the power didn't develop, and I was quite surprised why I jumped so hard to him.
Not too many cars were able to stay even in the realms of proximity with Peter, so...
Yeah.
Not bad.
So doing my lead lap, I was going in a bit too hard. Put off at least one, probably 2 wheels in the first turn already. Kept it together, did the rest of the run. Peter gave me a small touch on the last turn.
Just to say he's there.
Yeah, he's there. And he got well-deserved the win. And he went on into the final where he met Conor Shanahan again. And he hit him, and that's why he got second that day.
Super happy also for Conor. To get his first win
So this was basically round 3 of Drift Masters European Championship in Riga. A lot of learnings.
Had a lot of more new data, mainly with you driving, but with me cheering.
And
did a good job cheering, right?
And also spotting, I have to say. Like, he gave me, like, I mean, we are brothers, we are both drivers, and it's really nice to hear the words from a driver.
That is
like how the track conditions may change by looking at the others and stuff like that. So I felt really confident with you in my ear. This was it. We hope you enjoyed it. And
we did.
You already know there's another round coming up, round 4. So stay tuned.
Don't be surprised if there's another video dropping where we tell you about round 4.